Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. Coming up later in the program, we're going to be visiting with Mark Addison. He is the author of a new book called Chameleon, or Cocktail Chameleon. I almost said comedian. I said that earlier.
Okay.
That would be a whole different book.
It would.
It's a guy that says with just a few simple ingredients to make these drinks, you can mix and match and do a bunch of other drinks. So he says with 12 basic drinks, he can turn it into 144 different drinks, some of which have alcohol, some of which do not. So he's got some great ideas for entertaining during the holidays. And I love the fact that he has some non-alcohol versions of the drinks, too. So we'll be chatting with him later in the program. Ready for a quote?
Ready.
Leo Tolstoy said, "Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself." That is so true. And we could change the world if we would all just change ourselves.
There you go.
There we go. Ready for some change. Well, at least changing the subject. We'll do that in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
We're in that special time of year, one of my favorite times when we celebrate with family and friends. But often that celebration involves alcohol, so please have non-alcohol options available. Sadly, too many times that's not an option, and that can lead to drinking and driving, and much worse. If you're having a party, have a plan. And remember, if you or someone you know needs help kicking a drinking problem, there's a toll-free number you can call, 800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Wednesday. It is November the 29th, and today is Square Dance Day.
Okay.
Have you ever square danced? Have you ever done that?
We had to in school.
So did we.
Yeah.
And
I think that was the one and only time I ever did.
I've never, outside of being forced to do it in PE, I've never done that. But I know some people who are square dancers. They're an older couple, and they are in very good physical shape because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there dancing their tails off, and they have a blast. And I think people who do that, more power to you. That was Zumba before Zumba.
I don't like to dance with strangers, though. That's what I don't like about square dancing. You get swapped up with some people you don't want to touch.
You get to know them after a while. That's that guy with sweaty palms. There's a guy with dry hands. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, today is the day to do it. It is National Square Dance Day.
John and Heidi.
Are you paying a bundle to have the channels you want, and even more to have a DVR to watch the shows when you want to watch them? ChannelSurferTV.com wants to help. We have a few options that could save you 45% with Dish TV. Call 1-800-818-3967. See how much you can save by cutting the cable. Plus, we can help you watch on your mobile device. Call 1-800-818-3967. This is a limited time offer that can change fast. Call 1-800-818-3967 or learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
We've got your brain on drugs here in a moment, but first, a survey finds the drunkest state in the union is... Which state?
I have no idea.
The drunken state is North Dakota.
Oh, yeah, I guess I knew that.
I think we talked about that a year ago. I think every year they do this survey, and every year they come up. I think they have been like the last 5 years.
There's nothing else to do there.
I think a lot of it has to do with the oil fields. There's a lot of young guys that are going up there, single young guys that have, they get off work and they're like, what else is there to do? I'm in North Dakota. Let's have a beer.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. I don't think that they used to be. I think Wisconsin used to be the winner. But again, a survey finds the drunkest state is North Dakota. We got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Troy Alexander Duncan, age 22, forgot the basic rule that if you're transporting drugs, you don't want to draw a bunch of attention to yourself.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, he didn't know that. While police were investigating a burglary, they noticed this red Mustang driving very quickly down the road, swerving around a parked patrol car, and then coming to an abrupt stop. Police went to his car and found a large mason jar filled with marijuana sitting in the back seat. A further search of his car revealed 11 more mason jars of marijuana, a bag of Xanax pills, and a bag containing strips of LSD. This man was a traveling trophy
I
case
guess
of
so.
every police officer's dream right there. Police probably wouldn't even have known that he had drugs if he would have been driving a little bit better. He faces several charges now, including possession of a hallucinogen, marijuana possession, possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. So all of that and a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah. And kids, I got a link to this on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. Pixar has a new movie out called Coco. Have you seen the ads for
I
this?
haven't.
I have not. But it's saying its way to the fourth best Thanksgiving weekend ever, with an estimated 71.2 million over 5 days. How have we not seen anything?
We don't watch
at
TV
all?
anymore.
I know.
And if
you'd
we do,
you'd
we
think
don't watch
somebody would have been
commercials.
talking about it on the computer, though, because we're on the online all the time. I sound so old.
But you know what?
We're
We
on
don't
the
have
online.
little kids anymore either, so we wouldn't have those ads popping up.
Yeah,
in
that's
our...
true. I haven't. I seriously have no idea what this is even about. And here it is. What, halfway through the week after Thanksgiving, it did $71.2 million over 5 days, according to studio estimates. Sunday alone was $49 million. So there we go. Oh, that was Friday through Sunday. Okay, so they're saying if they just look at the weekend. But when you tack in the Thanksgiving, it got $71.2 million. It's made it the fourth best Thanksgiving ever with a movie that I honestly have never even heard of. So I'm going to have to go online and see if I can find at least a preview. Hey, the upcoming film that John Travolta is going to be in, it's the John Gotti story, has now been pushed back to 2018. So I wonder what's going on there.
Wasn't he accused of
Probably.
something?
Hasn't everybody been at this point?
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's some John Gotti movie that's coming out that John Travolta is going to portray him, and now we'll have to wait one extra year. So there you go. Coming up, we've got more fun stuff to get to. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is the time of year to wrap up one year and begin another. For many businesses, that means a new budget is coming soon. Now, if you have some funds left in your current year's budget, we can help you make that go far. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable. So let us help create a jingle for your business that you can use for years to come. If you have some funds left in the budget this year, we can help you get it done now. If you want to wait until the new year and the new budget, we can lock in a special rate now and you pay later. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. With a loss on Sunday to Cincinnati, the Cleveland Browns record became 0-11. Now, we usually don't talk sports around here, do we?
No.
Hardly
Because
ever.
we know nothing about
We
sports.
don't know anything about it. The last team to go winless was Detroit in 2008 when the Lions went 0-16. The Lions still hold the record for the most losses in a single season. Winless teams in previous seasons won no games because 16 games were not played at the time. So they're saying that apparently they're not doing well. That's what I surmise from that story. 2 young boys seeking an adventure survived a 55-mile trip while hiding under a bus.
Oh, my gosh.
Terrible idea, boys. Motor
Oh,
coach,
my gosh.
the driver of the motor coach discovered the stowaways covered in mud but unharmed after completing a trip from the small village the boys lived in to a 55-mile destination. He was a trip that was 55 miles away.
I cannot even believe that. Where was this?
This doesn't say, but it was a village.
A
and they were
village, so it's
covered in
probably
mud, so I
not
don't know.
here.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe there's villages around here. But that
Is
that village is missing 2 idiots right there. So the holidays are here, and one thing they're known for is encouraging indulgence, such as overeating and overspending, which can lead to unfortunate economic consequences. Americans are the fattest people in the world, and every year we sustain nearly $325 billion in losses as a result. And we're on course to end 2017 another $60 billion in credit card debt. That
Wow.
totals over $1 trillion in credit card debt. So in light of all of that, our friends at Wallet Hub, when I say friends, I mean they email me even though I've asked them to stop. It's usually interesting stuff like this. They sent me an email, and I'm sure they sent it to every person that has a microphone in front of them. They sent us the 2017 most sinful cities. I just thought that sounded interesting. So who do you think is Sin City number 1?
Well, Sin City, Las Vegas.
Exactly. And it is absolutely according to the list, the top 10 most sinful cities, meaning these people have more debt per capita, and there's all these other things that they ranked it with. But number 1 was Las Vegas. So let's do the whole top 10 just to make it official. 10, New Orleans. 9, Tampa. 8, Baton Rouge. 7, Detroit. 6, Henderson, Nevada, which is really kind of like Las Vegas because it's right next to it. Number 5, North Las Vegas, which is still kind of like Las Vegas.
Wow.
It's just north of it. Number 4, St. Louis. That surprises me. Number 3, Miami. Number 2, Orlando. And then again, number 1, Las Vegas, Nevada, as the most sinful city, according to this list. Now we have the least sinful cities. These are cities that we should be proud of because they did really well on this survey. There's 182 on the list, so number 182 would be the last one. We're going to start at the number 10 least sinful. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 174 is Aurora, Illinois. Then San Jose, California. Santa Rosa, California. Plano, Texas. Port St. Louis, Florida. West Valley City, Utah. That doesn't surprise me that Utah would be in there. Brownsville, Texas, 180. 181, so this is the second to the best, is Pearl City, Hawaii. And according to this list, the least sinful city on the list, 182 on the list, South Burlington, Vermont. So they apparently keep their credit in line and all of that. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff here. I've got a link to this whole thing if you want to read it. They send me these all the time. I don't read all of them to you because some of them are just boring as snot, but and I think that's pretty boring, apparently. But this I thought was pretty interesting. Wasn't that kind of fascinating?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
thought so.
That's awesome.
Maybe I'm a bad judge of fascinating things. But I do have a link to it if you can't wait to see more at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
No more singing, please.
I'm trying to get everyone's attention to let them know that we made a list and we checked it twice.
Who made the list?
Okay, Heidi made a list, but I put it online to make it easy to find some of our favorite ideas for fun gifts.
These are my personal favorites. I have several of these items myself.
These are a few of our favorite things.
Oh my gosh.
You can see the entire list at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us right now. He is a entertaining expert and a TV personality, Mark Addison. He's got a new book called Cocktail Chameleon. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. Thank you, John.
Well, we're excited to visit with you. This is a time of year when people are going to be entertaining quite a bit, maybe more so than most other times of the year. And one of the things that a lot of people maybe kind of fall short on, you know, you can pick up a cookbook and cook something fancy, but when it comes to the drinks, so many times they just put out, you know, here's some beer or, you know, here's some whatever. You kind of have some fun ideas on how to mix it up and make it a little more fun, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, I think I always say, you know, it's called entertaining for a reason because you get to have fun while you do it. So I certainly want to make it fun and entertaining and easy for the host. And the way you do that is through serving a cocktail, a specialty cocktail that I call signature cocktails. And that's what Cocktail Chameleon is all about. It's based on 12 classic cocktails with 12 unique variations of each for 144 of these signature cocktails. And a signature cocktail is great because it's kind of a personal calling card of sorts. You know, it's an extension of your personality as much as your signature fragrance or your signature handshake. And what it really does is it gets you out from behind the bar and out and enjoying your party with your guests because it simplifies your party planning. You have ingredients for one cocktail, and you have something nice that's non-alcoholic as well for the people who don't imbibe, of course. And it really does simplify your life greatly. And again, a signature cocktail becomes an anticipated part of entertaining with you, and your guests look forward to it time and again.
I love the fact that you have a way for people to do this, even if they don't want to add alcohol. They can still have fun drinks without, you know, putting the booze in there, because this time of year, you certainly want to give people some non-alcoholic options as well.
No, certainly you do. And I think people don't understand fully that you can adapt any recipe. Very much like cooking, cocktail making has rules that are made to adhere to and rules to be broken. And so many different types of holiday punches or sangrias and even several classic cocktails like the margarita can be made with ingredients and substitute alcohol for non-alcoholic version of sparkling, non-alcoholic sparkling wine or club soda, and then you really boost it up with flavorings that come from simple syrups and other great juices. And I'm a huge proponent for all natural. So if it calls for some type of infusion, you do that with creating a simple syrup. It's so simple. That's why they call it simple syrup.
Yeah.
1 part sugar, 1 part water, and you can put things in like ginger or vanilla bean or citrus peels, and it really creates a nice, vibrant, all-natural flavor for your punches and your sangrias that really replace the alcohol and create a really still dynamic and interesting cocktail.
And there's 144 different varieties by utilizing the 12 base drinks that we're talking about here. The book is called Cocktail Chameleon. It's available right now. Where can people find a copy of this, Mr. Addison?
CocktailChameleon.com, where we are offering exclusive signed copies. We also have some really fun hostess gifts available as well, and that's CocktailChameleon.com.
In the book, there's some really fun ideas. One of the things I'm looking at here is a Pop Rocks rimmed anti-gravity martini. So this would be like where typically you put the salt ring. This would be a thing where you put like Pop Rocks. Is that right?
It is. That cocktail is based on an Oscar cocktail series that I did. That one is based on the movie Gravity. And I wanted to create something that was otherworldly. So this cocktail it's housed in an ice sphere. So the cocktail is literally inside a circular sphere of ice you have to crack in order to enjoy. And the rim is made out of Pop Rocks. And I always think of, somehow inspiration comes from any place, anywhere, simply as a color or a Hollywood film in this case. So you really take a look at what makes your cocktail unique, and the Pop Rocks certainly make this one very unique.
It sounds like a fun one. Now I want to try that, so I'm going to have to check it out in Cocktail Chameleon. It's available right now. Again, our guest, Mark Addison, is the author. Mark, thank you for taking the time to chat with us.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you, John.
And again, the book is available right now through Amazon. I'll throw a link to that on our Facebook page to make it really easy. They also have the website, CocktailChameleon.com, and we'll put a link to that as well. And that's where you can get a signed copy from Mark, the gentleman we've been visiting with today. Again, it's called Cocktail Chameleon. It's available right now. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
We're in that special time of year, one of my favorite times when we celebrate with family and friends. But often that celebration involves alcohol, so please have non-alcohol options available. Sadly, too many times that's not an option, and that can lead to drinking and driving, and much worse. If you're having a party, have a plan. And remember, if you or someone you know needs help kicking a drinking problem, there's a toll-free number you can call, 800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Did you know that you cannot... Oh, we already talked about that. How about this one over here, then? A sheep, a duck, and a rooster were the first passengers in a hot air balloon. That's kind of cool. So the first hot air balloon, they're like, hey, I think this thing is going to work, but I'm not getting in there. How about we grab a sheep, a duck, and a rooster? Wonder who chose that. It's kind of weird.
Sounds like the beginning of a very bad joke.
It does. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Uganda, 50% of the population is under the age of 15.
Oh.
So apparently there's a lot of people doing a lot of, hubba over there. 50% of the population is so young. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This is kind of a weird fact, actually. Hitler's mother considered an abortion, but the doctors persuaded her to keep the baby. So that's kind of interesting. That's like a little paradoxical thing that people could kind of think about. To think, because I'm not for abortions, but they're like, well, he almost got aborted. But if it wasn't him, it probably would have been somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a deep subject to think about.
It really is.
That is not a fun fact. That is just a weird fact. Couple of fun facts for you right there, brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
John and Heidi.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
No more singing, please.
I'm trying to get everyone's attention to let them know that we made a list and we checked it twice.
Who made the list?
Okay, Heidi made a list, but I put it online to make it easy to find some of our favorite ideas for fun gifts.
These are my personal favorites. I have several of these items myself.
These are a few of our favorite things.
Oh my gosh.
You can see the entire list at RadioSavings.com. That's RadioSavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your weird word of the day. It's our grandiloquent word of the day. It's Hagenheim. Hagenheim. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Hagenheim. It's actually cool. It sounds like an ice cream. It sounds delicious, doesn't it? Like another scoop of Hagenheim. It's actually a person who has stayed in a household for 3 nights and so becomes the legal responsibility of the host, a member of the household, a dependent, a Hagenheim.
Okay.
Yeah. Says, here it is in a sentence. At least he finally left. I was worried we were going to have a Hagenheim to deal with. we have had Hagenheims in our household.
We have.
A couple that have stayed. One was like 6 months. The other was like 9 months.
Many times.
Yeah, some Hagenheims at the small hacienda. Let me tell you all about it. I've got a link to this grandiloquent word of the day at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you paying a bundle to have the channels you want, and even more to have a DVR to watch the shows when you want to watch them? ChannelSurferTV.com wants to help. We have a few options that could save you 45% with Dish TV. Call 1-800-818-3967. See how much you can save by cutting the cable. Plus, we can help you watch on your mobile device. Call 1-800-818-3967. This is a limited time offer that can change fast. Call 1-800-818-3967 or learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now some weird news for you on a Wednesday. Stephen Walcott Jr., age 40, was sentenced to 20 years in prison, but his counsel demanded 30 years instead. That's kind of weird.
His own counsel did?
Yeah, his own counsel, by the way, was him. He said, no, 20 years is not enough. I think I should get 30 years. He was charged with attempted murder and rejected the state's plea offer of 20 years because he didn't think it was long enough. He asked to represent himself in the case, even though the court appointed him a public defender. He told the judge, "I want 30 years. I don't want the plea deal." He says, "I want the plea deal that was first offered." The judge says, "Wait. I think I misunderstood." He said, "No, you heard me right. I was offered 30 years, and he came back to me with just 20. I told him I wasn't going to accept 20. I want the 30. If he couldn't get me the 30 years, I did not want to see him anymore as my counsel." The judge questioned Walcott's mental state, and he says, "I'm concerned about your mental ability to judge this case." He was found in contempt for that. So he was questioning the judge's mental ability to judge the case.
Whoa.
Yeah. His argument did not help. He's going to get some additional time on his sentence one way or another. His next court appearance is coming up on the 11th of December. So
I wonder why he wants longer.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to plead insanity, and this was the beginning of that. I have no idea. All I know is it's a bizarre case. That's why this was today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Rondell Chinnick, age 32, swiped a motorized shopping cart from a Safeway grocery store in Anchorage, Alaska. You know the kind I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
The little motor scooter thing?
Yeah.
Well, the police took 10 minutes to get there because, it wasn't a major thing. So they got there 10 minutes later. The guy was barely out of the parking lot. He was so slow. The employees got suspicious. The man was leaving. They asked him, and he just took off. Anyway, top speed is 2 miles per hour. He was stopped by police at an intersection, just barely out of the parking lot.
That's awesome.
The cart became inoperable and was stuck in the snow, so he was not going anywhere.
Even if you take one of those things, you can't charge it yourself. Unless he had the charger too, you have to charge that thing.
Well, he said, "I was just riding the cart to have fun." He was still arrested for felony theft. So he thought it would be fun. He's 32 years old. You'd think you'd know better, but apparently not. I got a link to that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is the time of year to wrap up one year and begin another. For many businesses, that means a new budget is coming soon. Now, if you have some funds left in your current year's budget, we can help you make that go far. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable. So let us help create a jingle for your business that you can use for years to come. If you have some funds left in the budget this year, we can help you get it done now. If you want to wait until the new year and the new budget, we can lock in a special rate now and you pay later. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. RadioReallyWorks.com. We've got some good news to get to in a minute, and I've got some good news to share right now. 3 coffees a day is linked to a range of health benefits according to studies, so I think what we need to do right there is bottoms up, Heidi. We need to drink up some coffee because 3 cups a day. I think, do we do about that many? do
I
you think?
don't.
How many do you do?
Maybe one.
And I do
pour
7,
one,
so when
and
we
I don't
calculate
usually
that-
even finish the one because it gets cold too fast.
We average that out. Your 1, my 7. We're both doing good.
Okay.
Actually, I don't really do 7. I don't want anybody sending me a letter saying that's not good for me. I do have a link to the story if you want to read all about the health benefits of 3 cups of Joe every day. I like that. Now we'll read a story tomorrow saying that that's going to kill us.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You never know. These studies, like one day it's good news, next day it's bad news, and I don't know if I can believe any of it. I do have a link to it on our Facebook page, and we've got some good news to get to in just a bit.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap up this program with some good news. I want to say thank you to Jack for sending this one in. One of our listeners sent this, Heidi, so it's not one of your good news stories.
Oh.
Although I've got a dozen of Heidi's good news stories. But I got this from him, and I noticed that it was sitting there. I was like, oh, hey, I should have read this one already. But I got it, 3 or 4 days ago. So, Jack, thank you so much for sending this. A New Jersey woman who was helped by a homeless man when she ran out of gas in Philadelphia is raising money to help him. Kate McClure was heading to Philadelphia to visit a friend last month when she ran out of gas on Interstate 95. The Florence Township woman pulled over and began to worry, and then a homeless man approached her. The man, whose name is Johnny, told her it's not safe to be here. He brought McClure gas with the last $20 that he had.
Isn't that awesome?
That is cool. And McClure promised that she would return to pay him. McClure and her boyfriend, Mark Diamico, I'm probably saying that wrong, have since raised some money for this young man, who is a former ammunition technician. So he's a veteran who's homeless, which is very sad to me. We should have 0 homeless veterans. I mean, none. The pair hope to get Johnny an apartment with the help that they raised. How much do you suppose they raised for this young man?
I don't know.
They did, was it a Kickstarter? No, it was a GoFundMe campaign, sharing the story, talking about what a great young man he was. Gave up his last $20. So far, over $20,000.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that just amazing? That is so cool. And I've got a link to the story. Jack, thank you so much for sharing that. And this all happened within the last couple of weeks. So it's still going up and up and up and up. When the story first came out, it was $13,000. Then when I looked at it again the other day, it was $20,000. So it just keeps going up. I think it's such a cool thing. So hats off to this young man for doing what he did to help somebody in need, even though he was in need.
Yeah.
But he helped somebody else that was in need. And I think that is the key. We all have needs, but if you can help others around you, I think you're going to be so much happier. And what a great ending for this young man.
Absolutely. I agree.
Hats off to you, Johnny. Again, if you'd like to read that story, I've got it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.